coolest things about Nicholas Ermolov is the fact that he actually started in our preschool program as a Titan Tot. And not only was a Titan Tot, but actually when he was a Titan Tot, he wanted to be an engineer, and now he is living out his dream.
I've had this interest in this field since 10 years old. Well, that's actually I started programming at 11 years old, but I've been messing with computers for much longer than that. The first time I started programming was in 5th grade when I was very bored of constantly calculating the mean, median, and mode of a list of numbers in math class. So I asked my dad if I could write a program to do this. So he bought me a book on Python, which is a very simple programming language. And with his help, I was able to write a program to do that. And then from then on, I just started programming. The issue is that students don't know about computer science because, so students get to their senior year of high school and they say, oh shoot, I have to apply to a major at some college somewhere. Like I have to decide on something. And most students have never tried computer science. So they pick something, biology, med tech, something like that they are more experienced with and have had a chance to play with and find it interesting. So they pick that. If students were to be introduced to computer science at an earlier age, like in middle school, even just an introductory course, they'd be able to gauge whether they're interested in it and then pursue that further in life. So the end goal of the project is to create open curriculums for introductory computer science education so that teachers at any middle school can just take this curriculum and make some slight modifications and adapt it to their classroom setting. It takes a lot of effort in order to come up with your own curriculum, and there are some open curriculums for computer science education at the high school level, but nothing of the sort at the middle school level. So we decided to solve that problem so that, once again, more students could find out that they're interested in computer science. Our agenda for spring break was pretty much write some first versions of curriculum, test it out with some, we didn't have students, we used our friends' younger siblings who are in middle school, and that worked. I've spoken with 3 or 4 teachers, with a few other students here about what the best way to teach middle school students computer science is, because they want to see from a student's viewpoint what went well and what didn't go well. So our plan this summer is to test our program, and in order to fully test our program, we're going to debrief with our students afterwards to see what they had issues with learning, what was harder, what was easier, if students were bored, what was engaging, and we just want to find out what we need to change in the curriculum in order to make it as refined as possible in order to release. Instead of having the goal of learning, I have the goal of creating a project. So I often see students ask me or a teacher like, oh, I want to learn XYZ technology. What's the best way to learn this? Instead, what I see myself and my friends doing is that they say, oh, well, I want to build ABC, and I think XYZ, this technology that I've never used before, would be a cool tool to use to build that. So in the process of building the project, they learn the tool. So they learn simultaneously how to use a tool, how to use a tool to build a project, and how to have a good workflow with the tool. If I were to say one thing to a 5th grader, it would be to return to my previous point about don't try to learn technology. Don't try to learn technologies, programming languages, anything just for the sake of learning it. Find something you want to do, and then pick the most appropriate solution to that.